Hey everyone, welcome back to another Anime Kingdom manga review. See by the title below, yes, this is on chapter 208 of Shokugeki no Soma, and the Soma battle continues. Also, last time in the last chapter, we got a little bit of that introduction with showing Nene's skill in pretty much creating the noodles and everything, and then you of course we got, Soma over there saying instant yakisoba is what he's gonna make, and it always gets you like, is he really serious? What is he gonna do? But I mean, you can never underestimate Soma. He always brings out something that no one expects, and everyone is always looking down on him. Same with this chapter with the crowd. At least though, Nene was a lot different in this. She's not so arrogant like most of the people he goes up against, that they think they're like way better than someone. His dish, whatever he's doing, there's no way of a possibility of him, even coming near them. While at least she still thinks she's gonna win, obviously, but you can see that, like, even though she knows that, she also can feel that he's like right up behind her back, kind of thing, like right there on her heels with what he's gonna be doing. He's that confident in everything, and so you do see that she's not at least arrogant, thinking she's gonna beat him no matter what. She knows that she's really good, and she's confident that in her skills that she'll win, but she can't help, of course, see that yes, he is, he's not someone to just toy around with, like probably someone like Aizen would probably do, But pretty much this chapter, love the first page, by the way, of, the colored page of Ishiki was really cool to see. And I can't wait to see when he finally starts cooking. We get to see him a little bit in the beginning with him being like, yeah, and Soma, he always does something crazy kind of thing, And they're like, Ishiki senpai, start cooking. And we get a little bit of an kind of an introduction to informational dump, of course, of what this, Shokugeki, how it plays out on and everything. And then, of course, we get onto the full-blown, we got a little nice, kind of backstory on Nene and how she was back in when she was younger. Really cute, by the way. Lots of traditional kind of stuff. That's the whole point of this, like, the main premise of this battle is traditional versus, I guess you could say, modern. That's why he was using, like, a machine and everything. While she's based and set on all this kind of traditional stuff, you saw the way she was kneading the dough and everything. It was crazy. Like, everyone was like, oh my gosh, she's so good, there's no way that Soma can win. And of course you kind of think the same thing too when you see Soma, like, at first when he's having his flashback talking to his dad and everything, and then he has experience as being a diner chef, so he's gonna do his own thing, and then you see him like with his dopey face as usual making noodles through the machine thing, and everyone's like, oh my gosh, he gave up already, he's using a machine. And then of course we get nice little info. Like, that's why I say this episode was kind of like the middle ground, the build up to when it's finally going to explode. The beginning did a great job at hyping up. This episode did a great job at kind of throwing information at us on what's going to happen, and then the next chapter is probably going to get, like, when it gets really, really crazy, and when the judges probably end up they probably give their food to the judges. But of course, yeah, this chapter, overall, one part that I really laughed at, like, I was like, I don't know if this was meant to be put in here, but they were not, pretty much Azami's like full on just like, oh, this is how a noble of Central does, her cooking and everything. This is how great she is and all that kind of stuff. But at one point it was like the power is, she's got, small, slender arms. Like, how the hell is she able to do that? She's not strong, but it's all coming from her lower body, and it just shows like a upward, it just shows her butt. That's pretty much what happens. And I'm over here just like, that had to have been like on purpose, right? It just like, yeah, it came from her lower body. Nene, you got a nice booty. I'll say for sure. But pretty much, I couldn't, like, at that part, I just literally cracked up. I was like, yeah, okay, that's where her power comes from, I guess, for sure. But yeah, overall, this chapter, it wasn't anything, like, it was super, like, cool. I still enjoyed it. I still loved the information, of course, getting us to learn a little bit more of how, this Shokugeki ends up working, get some backstory on the main, antagonist at the moment, and kind of like where she stands ahead of Soma. The normal, Soma looks like he's gonna lose kind of thing as usual, and he does like some weird thing that no one would expect him to be able to use and end up getting better. But of course, yeah, like the differences. This chapter did a good job at showing the differences between both of their experiences and both of their different skills. Hers more traditional, while his is more like spontaneous and not traditional. I was gonna say traditional again for some reason. More spontaneous and like modern. You see him using machines, and even Edina does a good description on saying that a lot of people nowadays are saying that this is even better than doing it with your hand, except for a certain part is still only using your hand. But for certain things like this, it's actually smart to use machines. Machines make it a lot better. We're in the modern age. Of course, tradition is always going to be a cool thing, but tradition will always be the same. Things, like machines and all these kind of stuff, that is the future. That is things changing for the better. We make these things so they, help make things better. Traditional kind of stuff is, of course, it's always, there's always controversy with traditional stuff, but traditional, it always stays in that same place. It always stays there. And that's why I think that Soma may end up winning, because she's so stuck on this traditional kind of thing, while he ends up pretty much does something that the judges have never seen before, and that is why he ends up winning. And yes, I have changed my mind from the last chapter. I was thinking that it's possible Soma can lose, but I'm thinking right now, especially since they said that, the person, if you win, you can still go in the next rounds as well, go against someone. So I think Soma has to win, and I think there's going to be something where he ends up going against Tsukasa. Maybe Rindo, because like we've said, Rindo is supposedly the better chef of the two. It's just she doesn't normally try, but maybe she will against Soma, which would be a pretty damn awesome cooking battle, to say the least. But I actually think from this now, I think Soma's going to end up winning. How, well will the third C and Ishiki end up doing, that may be like something like you don't expect. You think right now, like I think right now, there's no way they can lose against the two newcomers to the Elite 10, So that would be more of a crazy thing that ends up happening, and makes it a lot harder for them if they do end up losing. So there's a possibility either one of them loses or both of them loses, while Soma ends up winning. And of course, we probably get some awesome good fan service of that power that Nene has down there, her booty and everything. But yeah, it's all I really gotta say for this chapter. I'm excited to see how the next one will be. I'm thinking that the next one will be on, the judging and everything already, because they pretty much showed all the beginning part, what they're gonna do, and then of course in this one they did more of the process in between. So I can't wait to see how the judges, what they think, especially considering they didn't show their faces. So that would be another cool thing to see, the reveal of who these judges are. Oh no, they did show the faces, just didn't show the face of the one girl, which there is a lot of talk of who that possibly could be. I'm not going to talk about it now because I don't really know for sure who it is. We'll just leave it at that, and then we'll talk more about it when it does come, if it really is who everyone thinks it is and everything, the possibility of it being that person. But yeah, it's all I really got to say, guys. Hope you enjoyed this Anime Kingdom manga review. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. If anything is, and you want to talk about, comment below as well. And if you did enjoy, don't forget to leave a like. If you haven't already, feel free to subscribe for more content. And until next time, guys, see ya.